In this tutorial, we are going to cover two important concepts in Python programming: class inheritance and method overriding. Don't worry if you haven't heard of these terms before, I will explain everything in detail as we move along. Let's start with class inheritance. It allows a class to inherit the properties and methods of another class. This is useful when you want to create a new class that is similar to an existing class, but with some additional attributes or methods. It reduces redundancy in code and makes it more maintainable. Let's take an example. We have an athlete class. This class has properties like name, sport, and energy. It also has methods like train and sleep. Here, the _init_ method is a special method in Python classes which acts as a constructor. It is called automatically whenever a new object of that class is created. In this case, it initializes name, sport, and energy attributes. The train method reduces the athlete's energy and prints a message. The sleep method resets the athlete's energy to 1. Now, let's say we want to create soccer and football classes. These classes should have all properties and methods of athlete class, but they also need to have their own train method. This is where inheritance comes into play. Here, the soccer and football classes inherit from the athlete class. The super train call is using the super function, which allows us to call a method from the parent class. In this case, we're calling the train method from the athlete class. Let's create an athlete of each sport and make them train. As you can see, the train method from the parent athlete class is called first, which reduces the energy and prints a message, and then the child class's train method is called, which is specific to each sport. Finally, let's see what happens when we make our soccer player train too much. As expected, our athlete gets tired after training too much. This is because the train method in the athlete class raises a runtime error if the energy goes below 0. And that, my friends, is a brief introduction to class inheritance and method overriding in Python. Remember, practice is key in programming. Try to play around with the code we discussed today, and don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions. Happy coding!